Hi, welcome to Leisure Arts and the first Teach Me Tuesday. And I'm your host, Kristi Simpson, and my husband is behind the camera, so his name is Jason. So we wanted to say hi just to start off with. And before we get started, I just want to go over a couple of things. Like, it is Teach Me Tuesdays, and we're here at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time every Tuesday. So make sure you make a note to join us here. And feel free to ask any questions as we go, because as we go, as you comment, you're entered in for Knits for Summer, a free book. So every comment counts as an entry. So got that out of the way. Let's see, you might be asking, what is Teach Me Tuesday? Teach Me Tuesday is just a fun look into different products that Leisure Arts has and that they feature on their Leisure Live segment. That's Thursdays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time when it's not a holiday. So they won't have it this week, but check back next week. So let's see. I've got my notes here. So I'll just be taking a look here in this Teach Me Tuesdays and into some of their products, like book reviews, crafts, like knitting and crochet. As you can tell, I love yarn, so we'll be doing a lot of fun yarn stuff, and we'll be doing mini maker kits. And all that is where Leisure Arts takes a kit and puts it all together in one package with all the supplies and pattern or everything you need. So we'll go over some of those. We'll do macrame, diamond art kits, just you name it. And if you have any suggestions, just let us know. Now let's see, we'll be checking the comments as we go. So Chris Lopez says, good morning. And I'm sure we've got a whole lot more people on there. So just keep commenting. Remember, every comment is a book entry. So let's see a little bit about me. My name is Kristi Simpson. I'm an author and designer with Leisure Arts. So I live in Alabama, and this is my makerspace. What does your makerspace look like? Is it a room? Is it your favorite spot on the couch? That's usually where I am. Is it clean? Is it messy? This is only clean because it's on video. So you just gotta keep in mind that I am a really creative brain. I love to crochet and knit and craft and do all things crafty. And usually it's a big mess, and my husband can attest to that, right? So I like to, hi Veronica, I like to hang out with my kids and play games. We have 4 kids, twin 11-year-old boys, and then a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old girl. And we have been married for 13 years. Woo-hoo. And I think that's about it for now before we jump into the craftiness. So let's look at the comments. We've got more people coming. Really cool. Okay, so let's just jump on in. Let's go over the book review that we're going to do today. Now, it is knits, and the demo that we're going to do is for knitters and crocheters. Now, every week will be different. But like I said, we'll be doing crochet and knitting some, but then we'll be doing different crafts as well. So if you don't crochet or knit, first of all, you need to learn how. And if you don't know how, Leisure Arts has plenty of books for that. And I will teach you if you don't know how. So let's start off with Knits for Summer. And this is the book that's in the giveaway. Make sure you comment. And this is a really cool book because it's got a lot of beginner-friendly items. Believe it or not, if you're a beginner, you can knit some of these things. Like, for instance, this vest here, it is seamless. And a lot of people look at clothing like it's really hard, it's really intimidating, but really this uses the basic stitches of knit and purl and yarn over. And that's really all that this is, and it doesn't have seams. You just work the armholes in there as you go. It's really easy. And let's look here. Prudence Hollins, hi. She said my granddaughter Gracelyn is watching. Hi Gracelyn. And then Chris Lopez says, I was just telling someone a little while ago that I taught myself to crochet from one of your books. Oh, that is so cool. Which book was it? Do you remember? Just answer if you get it, but oh yeah, they're delayed. Okay, so let's just go over a couple of these that's in the book. We have barefoot sandals, and this is really fast and easy. I use a line brand yarn in it, And a lot of these are very summery yarns, like cottons and things like that. Okay, look at these coasters. And this is what we'll be doing today, is learning how to do the duplicate stitch. Now, what is a duplicate stitch? All it is taking and embellishing on a knitted item or a crocheted item. Now, knitting, it will be worked on the stockinette stitch where it has knit and purl on both rows to have a smooth finish that you can work on. Now, the crochet, I'll go over this a little bit more. It will take the waistcoat stitch, or what people also call kind of the center crochet, single crochet stitch, because you work in the center of the stitch instead of in the posts or stitches. So let's look at the comments here again. Oh, okay. Chris says it was the I Can't Believe I'm Crocheting book. That's awesome. That's really cool. Okay, so like I said, we've got coasters in this book, and that's done with a duplicate stitch. So if you don't know how to carry the yarn, or you don't want to work with multiple yarns, this is the perfect project for you. It's small, and yet you get the cool detail and something useful whenever you finish. The lacy cape is really pretty. I can't work the camera. Okay. Isn't it pretty? It's just really simple, and it's lacy and it's lightweight, and you can wear it in the summer. You can make it for fall or spring even. So some of these things in knits for summer are knits for all the time. But this would be good for any age. It's the rose head wrap. And all you do on that one is you make the headband, and then you make the flowers separate. Now, on a lot of knitting flowers, you know, you'll use double point needles, and it looks really complicated. But this, I just break it down, and you just work it up in a strip, and then you assemble it. So, and then you apply it to the headband. So you can make this for your little ones, for yourself. You can make the flowers to put on bags. So it's really, really multi-use. So let's look at these comments again. See who's joining us. We have Samantha that says, those coasters are so cute. That's awesome. And Dee, she says, hey, from NC, awesome. And she knits and crochets. Yay, knit and crochet. And then Chris Lopez said she learned how to do that back in 1978. So that's really cool. We've got a awesome master here, or someone who really loves it. So that's really cool. Thank you so much for joining us on this Teach Me Tuesdays. Keep commenting. Remember, that's an entry in the giveaway. So this one is the scoop neck top. See the detail? It has like lace on the bottom, and then it's scooped on the top. Now this one also uses the duplicate stitch, which I'll be showing you here in just a few minutes. And it's the anchor pillow. Isn't that cool? It looks hard, doesn't it? But it's not. I promise it's not. See? And I love this one because, you know, you make a panel and then you do the duplicate stitch on it. Oh, and let me tell you what I figured out. If you take and you have your panel and you're working duplicate stitch, or you're trying to embellish something, get a embroidery hoop. And whenever you have your item, you just clip it in there, and that way it's not all floppy and everything. So that's something that I've recently been using that I found very helpful. So let's see if there's anything else here. Not yet. Let's see. If you like totes and bags, we've got you covered here too. See, fun little tote with a little pre-made handle. I like using crochet and knit handles a lot, but sometimes when you have a bag, you need something that's more firm so it doesn't stretch and the bag stretches. So I like adding handles sometimes. We have the vest again. Oh, one of my favorites in the book is Surfside Tunic. And you see, it's like a swimsuit cover-up. Really cute. And then we have a fringed hip wrap. See, it just wraps around the bottom there. And then, okay, so now if you don't know how to knit, like I told you before, you need to learn. But if you need help, there's all kinds of helpful things in the back of the book that will step you through as you go. And then of course, you know, the patterns are there, and then everything that you need to know for every pattern is in the book. If you've never bought a book, you need to. This is a good one to start with if you want to learn how to knit. If you want to learn how to crochet, we've got plenty of those too here at Leisure Arts. So I'm going to put that right there for right now. Now, like I said, if you crochet, there's also a way for you to use the duplicate stitch, which is what we're going to show you here in just a second. Now, I wanted to show you an example of where I did the duplicate stitch in a book, and it's in rucksacks and backpacks. I'm getting this all kinds of backwards today. And it's called the Aztec tote. And see how it has the little design there? I did not work that in, and I went. I wish you could see like all the detail in the bottom, but it's really cool because I use the waistcoat stitch, which looks like knitting, and it's really cool the way you do the stitch there. And then you just take the chart, which it's given to you in the book too, and you just work according to the graph. And it's really easy because all of your stitches are lined up, and you just work the stitch. Like I said, I'll show you how to do that here in a second. So that's that. Now, let's look at the comments real fast. We have Dina Casey. She says she doesn't enjoy knitting, but I do like crochet. Well, that's great. Let's see. Embroidery hoop is a great idea. Thank you. I always had a hard time with the fabric kind of flopping once I was working on a bigger project and getting my needle messed up and everything. So, let's see. I mainly knit with a little crochet on the side. Well, I like to actually mix them, you know, knit and crochet when I can, but totes are an absolutely must with all the projects I have on the go. Well, that's why I like making crochet bags. I always give them as gifts, or I always use them, and I always have a ton of stuff. You know, with the 4 kids, we're always on the go, and I throw things in bags and totes, so you always need one. And Megan Russell, hi Megan, she says hey. And then we've got Jackie Dundon trying to see the name of that knitting book. It's called Knits for Summer. Knits for Summer. And every comment is an entry to win a copy from Leisure Arts. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you about this duplicate stitch that I have been talking about. And what you'll need is just a swatch. I did a knitting swatch today. You'll need 2 colors of yarn, like the lighter swatch, and then a contrasting color so that you can see it if you want to practice, and a yarn needle. And that's it for the demo. So let me adjust the camera, or actually let my husband adjust the camera, and then I will show you really quickly how to do this. Cool. Okay, well, we are ready to do this duplicate stitch, and like I said, you'll just need a swatch. And I have one pre-made here, and I have a few of the duplicate stitches in it. You see what I'm talking about? How you just work on top? So let me show you how to do this cool stitch, and it's really, really simple. Okay, so you're going to go in at the bottom. See right here where it comes to a point? My camera to do its thing here. Where it comes to a point. So you're going to go in from the back. And I'm just picking a random stitch here. I'm not using a graph or anything right now. So you're going to go all the way through, and then where the stitch, you just follow how it goes up behind it right there. You see? Then you push through, you pull it all the way through. Now you can go from the right or you can go from the left. It does not matter. And then you're going to take and you're going to go back into the spot where you came from. And you don't want to pull it too tight, or else the back is going to shine through the swatch color. And you can even adjust it a little bit so that it works. Now to do the next one, like according to the graph, say you were working the shovel, you would count over how many rows or stitches over, like this one's 4, and then you would start on the next one. Then you know you have 3 here, or you can go all the way across and then all the way back over. And then you just work your way up and you work your way around. And the same thing for the lighthouse. You would just skip 1 stitch. Like here, I have 2 stitches together, 1, 2, but you would just take and you'd skip 1 and then you would do the next one if you were working the lighthouse. So say you want to do the next stitch. And it's easier if you work from the base to the top, so the top down. You can do it either way. It just takes a little bit more finagling. I know, my husband made fun of me. I used a big word, finagling. Okay, he said it was a weird word. Okay, so we have 2 there, and it just covers it, and it's called duplicate stitch because it looks like the stitch you're covering. Now, like I said, you can do this with crochet also, but you have to use the waistcoat stitch and make sure that it looks like a knit swatch. I know that seems like it's backwards, but if you want to do this, but you don't want to carry your yarn, or you want to do a specific chart, which you can really use any chart and as many colors as you want, but that's basically how you do it. So let's go ahead and switch it back around. I'll give you a sneak peek for next week and we will wrap this up. Hey, I'm back. Okay, so like I said, every comment has entered you into a giveaway for Knits for Summer, and we're going to look at these comments before we continue. And Prudence says, Graceland says, this is good stuff. Well, thank you very much, and thanks Leisure Arts for awesome products. Lois says, hello Kristi. Hi Lois. We got D on there too. Okay, so I want you to do something. I want you to take a picture of your makerspace. This is mine. Like I said, I'm in Alabama. And and this is my makerspace. So take a picture. If your makerspace is on your couch, take a picture. Take a picture of yourself while you're making something and post it on this page, Leisure Arts, and tag it, hashtag Teach Me Tuesdays. That way we all can like join together and see what we're all doing, or take a picture of what you're making. Take a picture of the duplicate stitch that you just tried or you're going to try. So just jump in with me. This is a lot of fun, and I love to give things away, so make sure you comment. And Dee says, love the seahorse and flamingo. Yay, I love it too. It's so much fun. And I had to make extra because my daughter is a huge beach decoration girl, and she took them from me. So yeah, she loved them too. All right, so, I said I would give you a sneak peek for next week. Next week, we're going to, what's the word? We're going to start something fun called Christmas in July. Yeah, it's nothing that we're starting, but we're going to do it anyway. So we are going to do a yarn feature, and I don't know if you've ever seen the loop yarn. See, look at those loops. Look at the Christmas. Red and green, red and green. Okay, so we're going to be working with a loop yarn. So if you've never worked with it before, get some. I'm going to show you how to use it, and I'm going to show you a couple of books that you can use with it called Loops and Twists. But that's all I'm going to tell you for now. So that's your sneak peek. Christmas in July start next week. So anyway, I'm so glad that you joined me here for the first Teach Me Tuesday. My name is Kristi Simpson. I look forward to seeing your makerspace on Leisure Arts, and make sure you tag it, hashtag Teach Me Tuesdays, so that we know that you saw it. And the same thing with the duplicate stitch. Now let me check the messages before we leave. Oh, we've got somebody from Paris. That's so cool. Thanks for joining us, and I think that's all for today. So again, thank you for joining us, and I'll see you back here next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for Teach Me Tuesdays.